Open the cupboard under your kitchen sink and count what lives there. The ant spray. The drain foam. The mold and mildew gun. The fruit and vegetable wash. The counter sanitizer, the trash can deodorizer, the sprout boosting garden tonic from the catalog. 8, 10 bottles, $60, $80 standing in a row, every one wearing a warning label, and every one promising to do exactly one job. Now come out to the wash shelf on my back porch, where my family keeps its version of that entire cupboard. It is one squat brown bottle, it costs about $1 at any store in America, and it has stood on farm shelves for 100 years and more, plain 3% hydrogen peroxide. Today I am going to carry that one bottle through one full day on this farm, morning to dark, the kitchen, the drains, the ant trail, the garden, the henhouse, the wash, and let you watch it quietly do the work of that whole crowded cupboard. And as we walk, keep this question in your pocket, because it is the backwards one. The strongest chemical under your sink is not the one that works the best. The best one is the weakest, and the reason it beats them all is that it is barely a chemical at all. By the end of the day you will know exactly what I mean, and you will never look at that brown bottle the same way. The day starts where every farm day starts, the kitchen, before 6. My wife's cutting board has seen 40 years of Sundays, and after the morning sausage it gets the same treatment her mother gave hers, a splash of peroxide straight from the bottle, left to sit while the coffee boils. You can watch it work. That white fizz rising off the wood is the stuff tearing into what the knife left behind. 10 minutes, a rinse, done. The counters get a wipe from a spray bottle mixed half peroxide, half water, same fizz, same result, and here is what matters at a table where children eat: when it is finished working, it is finished existing. That is the secret in your pocket, so let me say it plain and once, because it explains everything else today. Peroxide is water carrying one extra piece of oxygen, and that piece cannot wait to leave. It does its damage to the small unwelcome things, and then the whole business falls apart into plain water and plain air. No residue on the board. No fumes in the kitchen. Nothing for little hands to find later. The bleach bottle cannot say that. The spray gun cannot say that. The weakest chemical in the store wins the kitchen precisely because it disappears. And before the breakfast dishes, the bottle earns its keep one more time at the sink, the produce bowl. The lettuce from the garden comes in wearing the morning's grit and whatever walked across it in the night. The store berries come in wearing whatever the truck brought. A basin of cold water with a splash of peroxide, a 2-minute soak, a plain water rinse, and the greens come out as clean as a bottled vegetable wash leaves them, because that soak is the same idea those bottles are selling, without the perfume and the $4 label. My mother washed every peach and every head of lettuce this way through 50 summers, and her rule was the rinse. The peroxide does the work, the clear water sees it out the door, and what reaches the table is just food and water, nothing else. While the coffee is still hot, the same bottle visits the sink itself, because the kitchen drain is where the smell lives and where the little flies are born. Half a cup of baking soda down the throat of it, then a cup of peroxide after. The fizz you hear working down there is scrubbing the grease film off the pipe walls where the drain flies lay. Follow with a kettle of hot water in a few minutes, and the drain is clean, sweet, and out of the nursery business. No foam gun, no midnight plumber, pennies a month. By 7 the ants have found whatever the children dropped last night, and there is a shining brown line of them from the door crack to the crumb. The spray can in town kills the 20 ants you can see and calls it victory. The old way reads the line instead: every ant in that parade is walking a scent road painted by the scouts, nose to tail, and the road is the whole army's map. So the peroxide spray bottle wipes the counter and the floor along the entire line, corner to crack, and the map is erased. The ants that come after stand at the door sniffing at nothing, because the road home is gone. Watch it with your own eyes tomorrow morning. Wipe the trail, not the ant, and the kitchen goes quiet in a day. Same brown bottle, and the trash cans get a wipe down while it is out, because a clean smelling can is the difference between a kitchen roaches investigate and one they skip. I will be honest with you, the way the label never is, no dollar bottle ends, a real roach infestation, that job is about starving them and sealing cracks, but the peroxide takes away the smells that call them in, and prevention has always been the old way's favorite kind of fight. Mid-morning, the bottle goes to the garden, and this is where it surprises the English visitors most. 2 jobs out there. First, the powdery white dust that shows up on the squash leaves in a humid July, the same damp-loving bloom that takes zucchini patches every August. Old gardeners reach for a spoonful of peroxide in a cup of water, mist it on the leaves in the cool of evening. Folks say that white film meets the same fizzing argument the cutting board made, while the leaf underneath, being made of sterner stuff, stands unbothered. Second, the potted plants and seedlings that sit too wet and start to sulk, yellow, droopy, roots drowning in airless mud. The old fix is a gentle watering with that same weak mix, carrying that restless extra oxygen straight down to the roots, exactly what waterlogged soil has run out of. The old-timers soaked stubborn seeds in weak peroxide water overnight before planting. 2. The shell softens, the seed breathes, and folks say the row comes up days earlier. 1 bottle, put to 2 uses, the bloom on the leaves above the dirt, and the drowning roots below it. Name me the $40 catalog tonic that claims both. And while we are among the plants, the bottle does one more garden job that separates the old hands from the new ones. It cleans the blades. Every good gardener knows the heartbreak. You prune one sick tomato plant, move down the row to a healthy one, and a week later the whole row wears the same blight, because the pruners carried it plant to plant like a dirty needle. The old rule is a jar of peroxide standing by the garden gate on pruning day, dip the blades between plants, 10 seconds, wipe on the apron, move on. Same for the pocket knife that cuts seed potatoes, same for the saw that trims the orchard in spring. It is about the cheapest crop insurance ever bottled, and almost nobody outside a farm has ever been told. While we are half through this day, do something for me down in the comments right now. Go count the bottles under your sink. The real number, waxy old ones included. You will want it for the end of this video, and I collect the records. On the way to the henhouse, the bottle stops at the cold box. Yours is the refrigerator, ours is the propane cooler and the old icebox before it, because every cold box in the world grows the same 2 tenants, the mystery smell and the pink-black film in the door gasket. The strong chemical habit is to attack a food box with bleach and then keep your sandwiches where the fumes lived. The old way is the half-and-half spray again, shelves wiped, the rubber gasket folds gone over with a rag on a butter knife, 10 minutes with the door open, and the box is clean by the only standard that matters for a place that holds food. Nothing stayed behind. My grandmother did her icebox every Saturday with the brown bottle, and her rule survives at our house word for word: never clean a food shelf with anything you would be afraid to eat off of. Afternoon, the henhouse, and anyone who keeps birds knows the chore I mean. The waterers go green and slick inside a week in summer, and no one wants their hens drinking from a slimy fount. A glug of peroxide in the empty fount, a swirl, a scrub with the brush, a rinse, and the slime is gone without leaving anything behind that a hen should not drink. The nesting box boards and the milking pails at a dairy get the same treatment, and always have, because a farm cannot afford a cleaner that harms the very animals it is meant to protect. That is why the brown bottle earned its place on farm shelves a century ago, long before anyone printed the word eco on a label. It was the only clean that washed away to nothing. Supper done, 2 small evening rounds before the wash. The dish rag and the sponge, the 2 dirtiest objects in any kitchen in America, farm or town, a saucer of peroxide, wring them through it, let them sit while the table is cleared, rinse, and the sour rag smell that perfumes half the kitchens in the country simply never starts. And the mudroom, where the boots and the dog live, whatever the dog brought in, whatever the barn sent home on a heel, the half-and-half spray and a stiff brush take the spot and the smell out of the floorboards, not masked, gone. The town solution is a plug-in air freshener arguing with the floor. The old solution is a floor with nothing left to argue about. And at evening, the bottle finishes where the day's dirt collects, the wash. A cup of peroxide in with a load of dingy whites brightens them the gentle way. It is the working heart of every oxygen bleach powder in the store aisle, sold there at many times the price and dressed in a plastic tub. The grass stains on the children's knees, the yellowed pillowcases, the musty towel that sat wet too long, peroxide, a little time, and the wash line does the rest. And when the mattress or the couch takes on that stale smell every house knows, a light mist and an open window return them to decency by supper, no perfume canister pretending the smell is not there, just the smell actually gone, and then the cleaner itself gone after it. So walk the day back with me, and count what $1 did. The cutting board and the counters, made clean enough for bare hands and bread dough. The drain scrubbed and the fly nursery closed. The ant map erased, the trash cans made boring to roaches. The squash leaves tended and the drowned roots given air. The waterers, the nest boxes, the pails. The whites brightened and the musty things made fresh, the rags sweetened, the mudroom settled. 14 jobs, 1 bottle, and behind them all the same single trick you carried in your pocket since morning. It is just water, wearing one restless piece of oxygen, strong enough for the small unwelcome things, and then gone entirely, leaving water where a harsher chemical would have lingered. The undersink cupboard sells you 10 strong answers that all linger where your family lives. The old shelf keeps one weak answer that finishes its work and leaves. Weak beats strong when weak knows when to go. My grandfather said that about arguments, and it turned out to be chemistry too. 2 honest cautions before you go bottle shopping, because the old ways respect the truth more than a tidy story. Keep peroxide in its brown bottle in a dark cupboard. Light breaks it down into plain water, which is why it is sold in brown to begin with. And never mix it in a jar with vinegar for keeping, each is fine alone, used one after the other even, but bottled together they brew something harsher than either, and the old rule covers it, 1 tool at a time, friend. Tonight, spend your $1. 1 brown bottle, 1 empty spray bottle, half and half with water, and start with a single job, the cutting board after supper, or the drain before bed. Watch the fizz do in 10 minutes what the label collection upstairs charges $60 for. Then come tell me in the comments which job surprised you most, and while you are down there, confess it, how many bottles are standing under your sink right now? Count them first. The porch record so far is 19, and I read every word. Soon the tomatoes will bury us all, and I will show you the Saturday that turns a bushel of them into a winter of suppers. But that is canning talk, and it needs its own evening. Until then, 1 brown bottle, kept in the dark, doing the work of 10. The old ways still work.